Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Optimized Ecommerce Podcast. I'm Tanner Larsson, your host for this episode. And today I'm joined by none other than Daniel Escobar, who is actually one of our BGS revenue optimization experts. He is actually one of the first guys to go through our revised and revamped internship program, where we basically took someone who knew nothing about e-commerce or optimization and basically, threw him in the fire when it came to optimization. And now he's been through the internship program. He's one of our senior ROs now and is freaking amazing at what he does. So I'm excited to have him on today. And today what we're going to talk about is how to use your customer service and specifically your support tickets to leverage the performance of your store and help you make more revenue, better decisions, and really turn what a lot of people think of as a pain point, customer service, and turn it into something really, really powerful for your store. So Daniel, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Tanner.
So Daniel is one of those guys who's kind of been everywhere. Went to school at Tulum, decided that the US was cool, but he wanted to go home. So now he's back in Colombia and rocking life out in an awesome, cool apartment in Colombia. And then it sounds like he's going to come back to the States again sometime soon. So he's all over the place, but that's where his really cool accent comes from. So Daniel, I already told him a little bit about you, but why don't you kind of give us some background on you, who you are, how you found BGS, and what you do with us?
Sure. So basically, I am from Colombia, as Tanner just said, and I went to college in Bogota, which was the capital of Colombia, and then somehow I ended attending Tulane in New Orleans, in the US. And then it was my senior year. I was looking for internships. I was not sure of what I didn't know what I wanted. I was studying finance and business management, and I found the ad, the promotion for being an intern at BGS, and I didn't know much about revenue optimization or Shopify at all, actually, but I decided to apply, right? So I applied. Zach did an interview with me. To be honest, I don't know what he saw in me, but it seems like it turned out well for BGS. And I've learned a lot ever since I came on board almost 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And so what do you do primarily with BGS? Obviously you're a revenue optimization expert, but kind of give them some background on what that is and what you do on a day-to-day basis.
Right. So I manage 2 stores. So what we try to do all day is to increase the revenue of stores, like the name implies. But that means doing research, and then based on that research we do on the stores, we conduct like research on customers, on data. We jump into GA. We do all kind of things in order to find insights to increase the revenue of the stores. And the way we do that, I'm not gonna get too technical here, is we do A/B tests, right? So that's kind of the way we know we're actually improving the store. We launch A/B tests with our hypothesis, saying, hey, I think this is gonna work better, and I have this data to back it up. Let's see if it actually does better, right? And after some time, we always, just pick the winning variation, and that's basically how we improve the stores we work on. So it's a lot of research and a lot of testing.
Yep. So guys, what Daniel's talking about when he says he works on 2 stores. So in our amplified partnership program, that's where we actually partner with, really good brands and stores that really want to take it to that next level and really scale. So inside our amplified partnership program, each RO can really work on 1 to 2, possibly 3. Usually it's just 2 stores though. And that's a full-time workload. And along with him, he's got an entire pod of support people, including GA experts, bug checkers, front-end developers, back-end developers, all these different people that all support what he's doing on the store. And that's kind of the system that gets it done. So he works with an entire team that plugs in to these stores, these amplified partner stores, to really dial them in. Now, back on topic. So we got your little intro. We know who you are and how handsome you are. And now we're going to jump into this topic, which is customer service and support tickets, and how to leverage them for cha-ching, right? How to make some money with them.
Yeah.
So first off, why is customer service really valuable for the audience? Why do they need, aside from like taking care of their customer, but what's so valuable about it?
Right. So there are two main reasons. There's one reason that is very obvious is that you help that person that is reaching out to you, right? You help them solve that specific issue. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. You really get to learn, you get to know your audience because that's direct feedback, you know? So every problem your customers have is they are screaming they are asking for clarity. They are saying, I have this problem. And you should be learning about that. You should be understanding what they don't understand, learning their problems, learning their pain points. So it's a nice tool for understanding your audience.
Okay, so definitely, obviously, the simple one right there. But you're basically saying that we can leverage the angry customer information that comes in, or even the non-angry stuff, and leverage that to see how can we improve what we're doing versus just dealing with the problem, right?
Exactly. You can build upon it, right? It's not only being reactive, but you got to be proactive with that information in order to generate more revenue on your store.
And that's pretty much something that we don't see many stores doing, is it?
No, they just, some of them take pride because they have an awesome customer service, but you go and see what that awesome customer service is, and they have the same issues come up again and again and again. So, hey, yeah, you might be awesome at answering it, but, are you really fixing the problem if that issue comes up again and again? So that's something we see a lot.
Makes sense. So with that, obviously using customer service, leveraging it, what are some tips that you can give us and give the audience to tell them how they can leverage their customer service and provide great customer service, but at the same time increase revenue?
Yeah, so the first thing I would like to say is provide many channels. Give them a way to reach you. So not only have an email on your website, also have a phone number and possibly a live chat. Why? Because different people like different ways, to reaching out to you. So for example, if your customers or your potential customers are at work, maybe they cannot grab that phone and make a phone call to ask a question. Maybe they'll prefer, a live chat because, they cannot call. So having many options, for people to reach out to you is ideal. So phone number, so put your phone number in there so they can call you. Put a live chat in there so they can chat with you, and then also have your email somewhere on your website so they can send you an email if they have a question or concern.
Yep. Now, one point I want to make on that before he continues on with the tips, but so all three of those: phone, support ticket, email, and then basically live chat or whatever. Those are all conversion boosters. They actually will increase your conversion when used correctly on your store. The number one that we get lashback from stores on, and not usually our amplified stores, but more stores that are in our members programs like Ecom Insider or Ecom Academy, is that I don't want people to call me. This is an online business. I don't want to deal with the customer. Well, the customers are your lifeblood, number one. They're the ones that pay your bills, pay for your car, your food, everything else. So you should treat them really good. Give them a phone number. But when you're first starting out or whatever, or you don't actually have to give them a live person phone number. You can always have it go to an answering service, which are very cheap, or straight to a voicemail. And then you answer the voicemail and get back to them. It's not as ideal as having a human answer the phone, but it's better than nothing. And it's a nice way to kind of segue into having a phone number on your store. Because a lot of store owners are starting out. They may be at work all day and they can't answer the phone when the customer calls. So give them an option to leave a voicemail and then you can get back to them. But at least having that option, it's a big deal. And as an example, more than a couple of years ago now, it was 2016, I believe it was, when we first did this. We were doing Second Amendment funnels for gun t-shirts and stuff like that. When we added a phone number on the funnel, just to the top of the funnel, sales increased by 30%. Now that increase did come over the phone though. So people were calling us to place their order because that demographic is more conservative. They don't trust the internet as much. And so there was a large chunk of our people that were not purchasing. They were going to the checkout page and then didn't want to give us a credit card. So what did we do? Took their phone order, went to the same checkout page that they would go to, typed in their order as they give and clicked submit for them. They felt more comfortable doing that, but we had a 30% uptick in sales by doing that. So phones are very, very important to a business. Now, sorry to derail you, Daniel, but continue on with your tips.
No worries, no worries. So that's just basically have many ways for them to reach you, and there's something you should ask your well, first of all, why do you want to do this? Because it's direct feedback, like we just discussed. We have a lot of people that come to us and they ask, hey, how do I get feedback on my website? Where do I recruit people for user testing? How do I know? Where do I get people that are likely to buy my product to give me feedback? And many times I told them, hey, that's exactly what you should be doing with customer service. That's the definition of your potential buyer. It's people who you didn't pay to. No, they are browsing your website and they have a question and they want to call you. That's the most valuable kind of information you can have. That's better than paying someone 20 or 30 bucks to go through your website and give you their opinion. No, these are your real customers asking real questions, right?
Yeah. Or diagnosing real problems or issues that are going to affect other customers in the future, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So why should our like the store owner basically be talking, or the person doing the optimization, why should they be talking to the customer service team consistently?
It's because it's direct feedback. Again, you don't want to solve that problem for that specific person. You want to solve that problem for everyone, because you should take this into consideration. Okay, that person had the problem and they bothered to pick up the phone and call. But how many people have that same problem, but they say, okay, no, I'm going to the competition. The competition is doing it much better. I don't have time to just make that call and ask that question. Or complain about this. Hey, I have this complaint. No, they have many options, right? Nowadays, you're just Google search away from many other similar products. So that's kind of why.
Okay. So, we were getting all this customer service data, and obviously most people have a ticketing system, whether they're using Gorgeous or whatever else, or whatever platform they're on. What do they do with it? How do they organize it in a way that they can actually use it and make it useful?
So first of all, many people have a record, but make sure you have a record. It's not only about us answering that call and solving that problem. Have a record of what people are asking, what their problems are, and have it all organized somewhere. You don't have to get fancy. It can be a spreadsheet. You just put in there the issue they're having or the question they're having, and once you have a list of those issues, you start classifying them. So for example, in one of the stores I managed, a lot of people were asking about, hey, is this compatible with this machine? But they would do it over the phone, right? And then somebody on the chat would ask, hey, can I put it on the front loader? It was this detergent for clothes, like for laundry. So they would ask, hey, can I put it on the front loader, right? And there was no way to put all those pieces of information together unless there was a clear record. So the way we did it is we didn't get fancy. We just used a spreadsheet. We put in there the issue on a column, and then we kind of created some categories, right? And one of those categories, or you can call it buckets, however you want to call it, right, was with which machines with which machines can I use this product with? So that's the way to do it. Just first record all the interactions, and just write them down. And second, build categories, right?
Yep.
This falls under how to use it. This falls under what materials is it from, whatever, right? And that's the way to do it.
And the cool piece of that, for those of you guys listening, going, man, I have to do that manually. Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of optimization has some manual aspects to it. But if you're using a customer service help desk system or live chat, you can typically download your chats. You can download all of your tickets into a CSV file, which obviously is a spreadsheet. Open that up, and then you can start organizing it there. And then you really only have to pipe in the other ones that come from the phone. But it's a good habit to get into with whoever answers your phone, to make sure that they are documenting either on paper or in a spreadsheet just as the call happens. It only takes a few extra seconds to do, but it allows you to build that library. And then, like he's saying, you categorize it and the categories are going to be different for every store because all stores are contextual. They have their own stuff. So, maybe a how to use, maybe will it work with, maybe a sizing category or whatever. And then you just start dragging and dropping until you take everything out of the bulk list and it's all categorized. And then what do you do with it once it's categorized?
So once it's categorized, so now you have the specific issues. You went from specific issues to broad issues,
Mm-hmm.
So now you have the questions and the concerns people have. Now, the key here is you gotta find a way to solve that on the website itself, right? You put that information. How? Well, that's for you to figure out, right? It can be copy, it can be an image, it can be a video, a comparison chart, an animation, that, right? You just gotta make sure that you're not just piling data there, but after you pile that data, you get these categories, you make something to solve them, right? You do something on your website, so you're helping all those peoples, and also you're helping those peoples who didn't make the call but also had that question to answer it, right? And that will help them convert.
Now you got a really good example for this one, right?
Yeah.
A vest
So,
company.
It's they sell body armors. I cannot disclose the name because it's an amplified partner. But we were getting a lot of questions about the sizing. If you ever bought a body armor, you will know that there is more than S, M, and L. There's like 15 or 20 sizes, and people were not sure which one to pick. So I would go talk to the store owner, and they would say, "Hey, but there's a fit chart there, right? How can not they see it?" And right, but people are asking about it. So if people are asking about it and have concerns about it, then that means that there is a problem, right? So after we did this, we found out that probably 30 or 40% of the issues that came up with customer service was, "Hey, I'm not sure which one to pick, right? Which size to pick." And second, because this is so complex, what happens if I screw up, and I order the wrong size? Can I, return it? And all that information was somewhere on the website, right? But the fact that they were asking that meant it was not clear enough.
Correct.
So what we did was basically we built a fit finder, right? So we took all the troubles out of it, right? So people just have to select, how tall you are, how much you weigh, and it will tell you like which size should you buy. But on top of that, because another question was, I'm not sure, can I return it if it doesn't fit? So right in the fit finder, when they got, hey, you should pick this size, maybe M or XS, whatever, below it, we would say, hey, and you have, 30 days to return it for free if it doesn't fit you. We'll even pay you for you to return it, right? Yep. So you don't have to pay for anything, right? So that's a good example of how to organize all the data from different, customer service interactions into something actionable to do on your website.
Now, guys, on that, so he mentioned, he dropped a bunch of really good stuff there when he was talking, but so you're taking the data from the customer service, hey, I can't find, how do I get the right size? And if I get the wrong size, you're going to take care of it. Those are valid concerns. But as Daniel said, that site owner, and Daniel as well, because they had already put it on the site. There was already a sizing guide on there, which was actually considered a fit finder. So it was like a little wizard that would help them do it. It was already there, right? The functionality was there. The information about the refunds and the returns and all that was there. And the store owner's like, why can't they see it? Well, you're not the customer, okay? And that's the biggest thing that we run into with store owners is they get this tunnel vision of like, well, I know the information's there, so it's the customer's fault if they can't find it. Well, again, remember, the customer is the one that pays your bills. So we don't care about you, we care about the customer. So even if you already have it there and you think it's the most obvious and in their face thing, it's clearly not if it's a recurring issue that you have, and you should solve it, even if it means having your sizing guide in multiple places. I know on another one of our amplified stores, we have the sizing guide in like 3 different spots on this one long page. It's the exact same thing, just duplicated 3 times, because we found out every time we added it to a new location based on our scroll depth and watching session recordings, conversions increased and questions started dropping. Okay. Yes, it's the same thing. Yes, it's like, doesn't make sense when you think about it, but from an optimization standpoint of what the customer needs, it makes perfect sense. And this is what Daniel does with this data.
Yeah, and actually, when we added that fit finder and that guarantee inside the fit finder, we got something like a 15% conversion rate boost. Only because of that. It was amazing. It was crazy, and it even decreased the amount of returns we had because we helped them pick the right size right away. So it was pretty good. One last thing I would like to add to a point that we talked about before is when you get all that data, you'll be tempted to run it through a computer system or an algorithm that does it automatically for you, that puts it into categories. Don't do that. Don't do that. You want to read the comments, you want to see what people are saying. You want to feel it, because that way you'll get a much better feeling for what the questions are, or what the concerns are. So don't take that shortcut.
That's a huge piece, because it's how do I get this done quicker is what everybody wants to do. But there's a lot to be said for actually having to immerse yourself in it. And you're going to discover a whole lot more, like Daniel's saying. With that, guys, this is not the only, just the only way you can leverage your customer service. It's not only a matter of how to fix problems, it's also how to spot opportunities, right? So an example of that would be if you're seeing people asking questions about a different product, like I bought product A, what about product B? Or do you guys also offer this? So I'm making this up, but let's say you sell sunglasses and people are emailing you asking, what's the best way to clean my glasses? Or do you have a cleaning kit to go with these glasses? Things like that. And you're just like, I don't sell that. No, go somewhere else. That's the wrong response. That should be like, oh, look, our customers who are spending money with us are actually telling us what else they would like to buy from us. So you can use it as research to help you expand your product line. You can use it also as a way if you have too broad of a product line, you can use it as a way to say, okay, look, these products have the highest customer service issue rating, or take up the most of our CS. Well, take that number, look and see how much customer service it takes compared to your other products, and then go look at your profitability and say, and sales. Well, actually, this product, it sells only 20% or less of what we sell, but it makes up 80% of our customer service. So maybe we should drop that product because it doesn't make us very much money and focus on the other ones that also have less customer service issues. So there's a lot of different ways you can leverage this data. If you're in it, if you're reading it personally, like Daniel said, you're going to actually learn a whole bunch. And it's honestly, wouldn't you say, Daniel, it's kind of one of those things that you never know what you're going to find. And there's always more to find than what you have found.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you start going through those comments, it's gold. It's gold. You find things you thought were not a problem. You find things that are already on the website, but it's not clear for them. You find business opportunities, product opportunities. You can even find so somebody even once wrote on a comment like, hey, I wish you had more, third-party reviews. So that was a sign for the store owner to go, reach out to YouTubers or maybe famous people in the industry and do some collabs, or maybe send their products for them to review, right? So there's a lot to learn from there.
Absolutely. And guys, this is just a real short episode tidbit. We're going to have Daniel on for other episodes on other topics because he's really, really good at what he does. But this one thing, if you just took this, 25-minute episode, listened to it a couple of times, and then went and applied this would make your store more money immediately. And it would be a massive, massive benefit for any of your big holiday, like Q4s. As we're recording this, we're getting geared up for Q4. So if you could do this before Q4, imagine if you could slash your customer service by 30% simply by taking advantage of it, while at the same time getting, like Daniel said, a 15% lift in sales. So this is what can happen when you actually take the time to do this stuff. So Daniel, again, thank you so much for doing this with us. It was awesome. I love chatting with you. And guys, we will have him back on another episode, I promise. And with that, the thing I need you to do right now is, if you're on iTunes, please subscribe. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. And if you're on the opposite, swap and go subscribe, because this is a video podcast. Sometimes we share stuff on the screen that you're going to want to look at. Sometimes you just want to see a pretty face, so you want to log on and watch it there. Other times you're in the car, you want to be on iTunes. So make sure you're subscribed in both locations. We're also on Stitcher and all the other podcast channels. To get the links that you need, including the show notes, just go to buildgrowscale.com/podcast. And then again, the final thing I would ask is whatever platform you're listening on, leave us a review, leave us a comment, tell us what you think. It keeps us enthused, keeps us excited, and then we can put out better and more episodes. All right. With that, guys, we'll see you on the next episode.